Konnichiwa, everyone, and welcome back to Sumo here on the Jason Sumo channel. I'm Jason, and I'm not an Ozeki. I wish I was. That'd be pretty awesome. Um, but they need some Ozeki, maybe, as we're about to look at the Banzuke. We've got some changes up at the top of the Banzuke for the September Basho, and this is the welcome video. So welcome for the September tournament, which takes place at the Kokugi-Con in Tokyo. And it's the last one of the year in Tokyo. The final basho of the year, of course, November, takes place in Fukuoka, down in the island of Kyushu. So this is the last Tokyo located basho of the year. And then, of course, the next one's January and so on. It starts on Sunday, September 8th this year and goes 15 days to Sunday, the 22nd, which is a national holiday in Japan. It's autumnal equinox day. And because that's a Sunday, they give us the Monday off, the 23rd. And actually, well, I'll probably talk about this more in a little bit, but I have a school event on that day, Senshuraku, which, ugh. And the previous Monday is Respect for the Aged Day. So be nice to the old people day. So we have two Monday holidays in a row. And sometimes those dates line up and we get this kind of like mini holiday like Golden Week, and they call it Silver Week, but they didn't really line up this September in that kind of way. But we still get 2 3-day weekends in a row, which is nice. And that just means it'll be even extra crowded at the Sumo on those two Mondays when it would normally be just moderate. It will definitely be full. Well, actually, Monday the 23rd. Sorry, that's after the tournament ends. So the first Monday of the tournament is the 9th, September 9th. Okay, so we need to look at the Banzuke. We need to talk about Patreon, and we need to talk about the contest. Those are our three main topics to get through here. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage. I've got my really old, it's kind of getting beat up Rogue One cup, drinking some lemon tea. As you can see, we had a typhoon recently in Japan, but today it's gorgeous. It's still very warm, uh, probably in the 30s as far as centigrade goes outside today. But yeah, it was really windy and rainy for the past couple days, and now that's kind of pushed by us and hitting other parts of Japan today, probably. But my part is clear and sunny, and looks like it will be a nice week coming up. It is nice to kind of get that breeze and get that air going through and kind of just refreshes the air, etc. I wish I could open my windows and enjoy it, but it's just too hot. I have to have them closed and have the air conditioning on, or it just gets way too warm. Okay, and just on a personal note, I went to California recently. Some of you who are following my adventures maybe over on my normal Twitter. I have a Sumo Twitter, and then I have kind of a Jason's Life Twitter. And I even ran into some people in California that recognized me from the channel. And somebody said they spotted me at the airport in Tokyo when I was coming back. But he didn't want to come up to me because he said I looked very tired, which I was. Yeah, coming back, it was a long day. My plane got delayed in San Diego, which bumped my flight, and I had to stay a night in a hotel in Tokyo, at the cost of the airlines because it was their mistake. And then fly the next morning very early, and just the whole when you fly back across the Pacific from America back to Japan, you lose a day kind of a thing because you're crossing the date line, and it's just it's not even jet lag, it's just something else. But yeah, I had a wonderful time with my sister and my niece and my new grandniece, and I posted some pictures occasionally and got to do a lot of swimming and eating Mexican food and just enjoying relaxing in Southern California. So it was really well worth it. And thank you to all of you that contribute to the tip jar and things like that, because that helps pay for those kind of things. Uh, it wasn't super expensive, but because of, I make money in yen, buying things like my plane ticket and stuff in dollars, it does feel really expensive because of the exchange rate, which is still really horrendous. Okay, enough about all that. Let's jump into sumo. I'll share my screen here. All right, share. Boom. Okay, so one of the first things is uh, Fred Pink, who normally makes the chart that I would pull up at this moment, didn't send me an email. And so I reached out to him today. I hadn't really thought about it until I was getting ready to make the video today. And so I hope nothing's wrong with Fred and everything's okay. And maybe it just got past him or he's busy in life. But yeah, normally that email comes maybe the day of or the day after the Banzuke comes out. And it's obviously now been a week, and I haven't gotten an email from Fred. So I hope there's not something wrong, and he'll respond to me and say everything's okay. But anyway, so we don't have the chart to work with today. So we're just going to look at the Banzuke on the main Japan Sumo Association website. And here's the topics, but let's just go to the actual Banzuke. Okay, so up at the top, of course, Terunofuji. Question mark, right? We don't know. We never quite know if he's going to show up or not. He obviously showed up last tournament and won the Yusho with a 12-3 record and had a fine performance all the way through, maybe until those final couple days. But was in the driver's seat for most of the tournament and got his 10th championship, his 10th Yusho, making him a Dai Yokozuna. And every indication is that he wants to keep wrestling, that he's not going to retire in 2024. So I expect him to show up, but I think he did sit out some of the regional tour. Uh, Diabetes, he has diabetes and his back. So it's just a question of, is he okay to compete? Maybe he'll show up and see how he goes and then pull out if it's not working. So we just don't know, right? Uh, then we have our two Ozeki. We only got two now, Hoshoru and Kotozakura. So Kotozakura is the number one Ozeki, I guess you would call it that. He's at 10-5. Not a great July tournament, but he put up some good numbers, beat the Yokozuna on the last day. Um, so I expect good things from him in September. Hoshoru also, just slightly under that, 9 and basically 6, because he had to pull out the final 2 days. But from all indications of the regional tour appearances, he's recuperated and should be back into fighting form for the September tournament. So he is the number 2 Ozeki, if you want to think of it that way. And then we have 4 Sekewake. No real surprise here. Abi and Onosato maintaining their rank, and Takakeisho being moved down to Sekewake. He's in that weird position where he gets a one-time chance to get 10 wins, and then he'll bounce right back to Ozeki in November. Doesn't get 10 wins this tournament. He is back out into the regular population, as it were, like Kirishima. So Kirishima had the chance last tournament. He could only get 8. And so he is now just a normal wrestler again. He maintained his Sekewake rank because he did get his Kachikoshi on the final day against Tamawashi. But he to become an Ozeki again, he has to do the normal procedure, 3 tournaments in a row with 10 or more wins, kind of thing, to total up to 33 wins over 3 tournaments, just like anybody else trying to become an Ozeki. So 4 Sekewake, kind of unusual, and our 2 Komusubi are Daisho and Hiradaumi. I believe they both just stay there. Let's see, Daisho with an 8-7 at Komusubi in July, but nowhere to get promoted to. And Hiradaumi even better at 10-5 at Komusubi. But again, they already have 4 Sekewake. They don't need a 5th. So he just has to stay at Komusubi for right now, which is a shame because any other Banzuke he'd probably get promoted, but not this time. Okay, then Takanosho Tobizaru at M1, Atami Fuji Oho at M2. Some of these guys, this is career high rank. I think Oho, this is the highest he's ever been. And so good for him. We'll see how he does up at the very top. He'll have to fight all those Sekewake and Ozeki ranked above him, probably mostly in the first week. So it's a tough rank. Mitakeyumi Wakamoto Haru, Shodai Koto Shoho, Ura in the top five, Shonana Umi, Meisei Gonoyama, Chirana Umi, Wakatake Kage making his way up, and he's at number 7 now. Endo going way back up to number 8, Midori Fuji, Ichi Yamamoto Oshoma, Roga Tamawashi. So Oshoma got the Kanto show back in May. I was just and then he went up to 9, but he got a 7. So they didn't demote him. Okay, they kept him at the same rank. Just moved him from the east to the west. All right. So where else we got? Roga, Tamawashi, Sadanumi, Kageyaki, Kimbozan, Bushozan, Hokuto Fuji, Nishikigi, Onokatsu coming up from Juryo. So he went 9-6 at Juryo 1. So he's making his debut. And we'll go over the debuts on the other page in a moment. Let me just save that, I guess. Ryuden, Takayasu down at M15, Takara Fuji, Kitanowaka, Shirokuma, the White Bear, and the one that's making everyone scratch their head is Nishiki Fuji. So I think people have been posting on Twitter that it's been like since the 1950s that somebody this low on the Banzuke with a losing record didn't get demoted to Juryo. Not only did he have a losing record at M17 in July, but he went 6-9. He didn't even go 7-8, which is missing just by one. He missed by two, and they kept him in the top division, which is just, unheard of. People are just totally sorry, I'm about to sneeze and I don't want to sneeze. Scratching their heads about that. And so, yeah, he has just not had a good run this year, really. I mean, he got one Kachikoshi in March. Oh, I guess he went 10-5. Oh, he was down in Juryo then. Okay. So yeah, that's just I don't know. He made the right offerings at the right shrines or something to get that kind of treatment. Let's look at Juryo really quick while we're here. So Chiyoshima Onosho getting demoted down. Toki Hayate and Shishi. Shishi from Ukraine having a chance to jump up. Asanoyama here is probably just a placeholder. I don't think we expect him to show up to compete. But, obviously we'll keep an eye on that. I think that's just where they have to put him for now. Shimazumi, Shimanumi. Wow. Do they really have to put these guys on the same line? Dayamami, Hakuoho, up to J5. So he went 11-4 at J13. If he can repeat and get double-digit wins at J5, he could be back up in the top division for November. Shiden Hidenumi, Tsurugi Shomitoru, Hakuyozan, Asakoryu, Daishoho, Miyogiru, Fujiseun, Tohakuru, Tomokaze, Takeru Fuji. Now he's another, I think he's showing up. Remember, he showed up twice just to get a couple wins, to get a 2 and basically 13 record so he wouldn't get demoted out of Juryo. And it seems to have worked. They kept him in Juryo and kept him, pretty high up at Juryo 11. Juryo goes down to Juryo 14. So, yeah, that worked for him, and hopefully he's able to fight, and that'll be one we'll keep our eye on. Kiryuko, I don't know him. He's brand new. And so is Daisei-izan, Aoyama, Chiyo Sakai, Oshomi, and Kaio. So those are your Juryo guys. If you're looking at where is Enho, some of you remember Enho. Let's look at Isegahama, and it'll tell us where did he end up. Yep. So they moved him. He was in the bottom division, right? Got his Kachikoshi, so now he's at Jonidan, Jonidan. I would say John, like John Wayne or I don't know, John Wick, but it's Jonidan 31, Enho there. So he can, have another good record and maybe jump up to Sandamne, and he's making his way back up. So that's good. What a strong stable this is with Takata Fuji, Midori Fuji, Tommy Fuji, Terano Fuji, Takeru Fuji, who won a U show, Hakuoho, who's a big up and comer, just stacked. And of course, this is the stable that absorbed Hakuho's wrestlers, and there he is as one of the coaches. And we'll have to see how that plays out. I think they'll let them split back up again in 2025, but probably not this year. Okay, so let's go to topics, see what they tell us. Abi stays at Sekewake for his third bus show. Onosato stays at Sekewake. Kirishima, obviously. Takikeisho has been demoted from Ozeki to Sekewake. And so, sorry guys, I have to blow my nose. Sorry to do that. Daisho stays. Hirada Umi stays. So it says achieving 10 wins as a newly promoted Komusubi and being ranked Komusubi again, not being promoted in the next tournament is the second time in history. And it hasn't happened. That hasn't happened since 1985, which is what, 40 years ago. So yeah, that's just, they would even normally, let's say they had two Sekewake who got their Kachikoshi and he got 10 at Komusubi. Normally they'd make a third Sekewake slot for sure. But we already had four, so they weren't going to make a fifth Sekewake slot. So just bad luck for Hiradaumi. But he'll get there. He'll get there. Onokatsu. Okay. Making his Makuuchi debut. And Shirokuma. Okay. Both university guys. And Kitanowaka returning. So those are the three guys that came up from Juryo. And these are the two guys that I said I didn't know. They're making their Juryo debut, so congratulations to them. They become Sekitori as opposed to Rikshi, salaried wrestlers with all the other privileges as well. And Oshomi is returning to Juryo. All right, so that's our Banzuke. And we see that reflected over here in the channel contest. Okay, so go ahead and head over there. The link is down in the description. And just click on it, and you have a week to enter. I'll be posting this on Sunday the 1st, and you have until Monday the 9th. I always give you a day, especially because of the time difference, to see what happened on day one, who didn't show up. Like, does Terano Fuji come? Did you want to pick him for the top group? And if he didn't show up, then you need to go in and edit your choice and pick somebody else type of thing. So, prizes by Big Sumo Fan and by sumotickets.com. There's my email. I don't do anything with your email. I never really look at them other than to send congratulations out to the top people, the winners. I will say that I'm a little bit behind. I'm actually catching up right now on sending out some prizes for July. So thank you for your patience. I think you all understand, I took my trip and everything. But yeah, I should have some time in the next week or so, maybe before the bus show begins, to go by the post office and send out some things. And for you guys that are channel members here on YouTube, I always like to pick two people at random. I don't know if I did that for July yet. I'll have to check. I also pick a couple Patreon people at random to give a prize. So I want to do all of that again here in September and keep that kind of fun stuff happening here on the channel. And yeah, speaking of the channel, well, here, let's finish talking about the contest. So 6 groups. Okay, you got a Yokozuna Ozeki group with only 3 people to pick. And you got your Sekewake and your 2 Komusubi, so 6 group. Then M1 to M4, just a lot of talent in that group. M5 to M8, M9 to M12, and then the bottom of the Banzuke with 9 people down to M17. One guy from each group, your team of 6 people Whoever gets the most wins with their 6 people gets a prize. And if there's a tie, and I try to give it to the second place people too, depending on how many there are. Um, and then the tiebreaker question is, who do you think will be the first top division wrestler to get his Kachikoshi, his majority 8 wins? Last tournament, it was obviously Terunofuji. So you have the entire list of 42 guys to pick from. So just who do you think will get his Kachikoshi first? Who will get to maybe who will be undefeated 8-0 on the first Sunday? Well, not the first Sunday, the second Sunday, the first weekend. And that's the tiebreaker, and it did actually decide who got the Tegata prize last time. So it's good to have that. So put in a nickname for yourself. Try to keep it under 20 characters, please, because if it just gets unwieldy, it gets hard to look at on the form and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll kick that off and get that going. So we had 700 people join last time. It's obviously free to join. So just take a guess, take a stab, and you might win some prizes. You never know. If somebody pulls out though on day 3 or day 5 or something, you can't replace them. That's just bad luck for this tournament. You know, there's 5 other tournaments in the year. Try again next time type of thing. I think I had Asanoyama. Many people had Asanoyama last time, and of course, when he pulled out of the tournament, that means you're not going to get any more wins in that bracket, right? So that's just bad luck. And you know, you just oh well. But hopefully you can pick 6 guys that will stay strong the whole 15 days and put up some good wins for you for your team. Okay, so prizes are, as always, I'm helped out by Robert over at Big Sumo Fan. He's got a lot of fun stuff for you to go look at over there. Just if you hit view all, I think it's pages and pages. Let's see. Tournament programs, Banzuke, towels. Yeah, 12 pages of stuff you can look at. So he'll have the calendar coming up in about 2 months. He's still got magnets, keychains, bags, sumo cards, mugs. So definitely go over and check that out. And he's based in the United States, but he'll ship just about anywhere in the world. And he often helps me out with gift cards and things. And then the big main prize is supplied by Jeff and the crew over at buysumotickets.com. So one of the good things about this, let's say you were interested in tickets for September, it says, you know, you can request them. They're probably sold out. That's probably the email you get back, but you never know. And so you can look at the map. Here's the map of the Kokugikon. The different boxes as they radiate out from the dohyo up to the top. And, you know, he takes pictures of what they look like, kind of um, what they cost per person. So 4-person box C, it's basically 10,000 yen per ticket, and then you have to buy all 4 tickets, right? So it's really basically 40,000 yen, which, you know, we say is in Japanese we say 4 mon. You'd say, oh, that's about $400, but with the current exchange rate, that's like $250. I mean, it's so much cheaper if you're coming. Here's arena seats, what they look like, and then the kind of last upper tier, how wide they are, distance to the ring. So he does a lot of really good work over here if you want to buy tickets, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty quick to respond to emails. He also does the special events like here's all the regional tour. There's actually one coming close to me um, in late October, I think. Okayama, Hiroshima, Kurashiki, and then you can see some of these other things like the All Amateur Sumo Championship and excuse me. So yeah, he's a really good resource, but the part that he uses to help out the channel is his shop here where he's selling the Tegata. And so if you win first prize in the contest, you can go on here. Let's say you want a Terunofuji handprint, and these are all authentic with the stamps. Here's Koto Zakura with his name change. Here's Hakuho, the greatest ever. Haku Oho, who doesn't have a stamp because he's not an upper rank Rikishi. He's got bundles and stuff like that. So yeah, go check that out if you want one of these fantastic prizes. And I unboxed one time on camera, and he packs it really well, and it's really a cool thing to have on your wall. I have a couple that I've shown before in videos. Hanamafuji and Okinoumi are the two that I have. Okay, so Banzuke. Tachiai did their normal breakdown. Okay, here's the Aki Basho, the fall tournament, is the nickname for the September tournament. So their Banzuke review. And what was the Banzuke committee drinking? This is sake cups here, because when you get down to the bottom here, I think uh, yeah, here's the Nishiki Fuji M17Es at their prior rank, despite their 6-9 Yippered. Um, when was the last time a top division Rikishi got to keep a rank with 9 losses? Yeah, it's pretty unusual. And so you can go and read his little rundown there, and I'm sure they'll have some stuff. Here's one of their members of their channel took a trip to Japan recently, so all about his trip to see various sumo sites. And of course, Tachiai remains a wonderful source of news in English for sumo fans, so check that out. Okay, and then last is, of course, the Patreon channel. So it would be great if you wanted to join us over here. I've got almost 300 people have signed up, and the videos, that was what I called the championship interview to not spoil that Terunofuji had won. Uh, but yeah, uh, I've been able to use the NHK feed, no problem. And there's different tiers. Can I show that? Maybe as a creator, I can't show that. Let's see. Membership, maybe? No, it's not letting me click on it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's you can be a Komusubi for $1 a month. 154 people have signed up at that basic level. So, $1 for an entire bus show, or if you want to think of it as $1 and then the next month there's no sumo, so you're paying $2 for a tournament. And you're getting, I think I posted over 80 videos for the July tournament. So I think it's value for your money. And then you can support a little extra, Sekewake 250 a month. And I try to give, these are the guys that get like, the prizes at random. And if you really want to just help out the channel, you can be an Ozeki at $4 a month. I haven't really thought what I would offer to the Yokozuna tier, because I don't know what else I could offer other than, you can come stay at my house or something, So daily access, live sumo chat at least once about show, which we did last time. Occasional early access, I've done that a little bit. So but the $1 is the thing I hope that a lot of you will take advantage of and come over and join us and watch the videos. I was pretty consistent in July. And I can't guarantee that I will be that consistent in September, because September is a busy month for me at school, especially with my IB program students. They're taking their mock tests uh, this week, in fact, right before the basho starts. So I have a lot of grading I have to do. We have to do these thing called predicted grades so they can do their college applications. Then I've got my semester ends for my regular students, all my other classes, 7th grade all the way up to 11th grade. And they have their term test, Kimatsu Testu, Kimatsu Shiken, October 1, 2, 3, 4, which is right after the bus show ends. But in between, I've just got a lot to do. And the thing that I mentioned earlier that I alluded to is on the 22nd, which is the final day, day 15, I have to travel far away, 2.5 hours away by car, with two 8th grade students to go to a speech contest that honors a Irish writer named Lafcadio Hearn, who lived in Japan and used to write these myths about Japan and translate them into English. and some of them got chosen and were in a movie called, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the movie. It's almost like a horror movie, and it came out in like the 60s or 70s. It starts with a K. Oh man, maybe I have to go look it up. But anyway, you don't care. Um, but oh, it's gonna plague me that I can't remember that now. Anyway, the stories are amazing, and so the students have to recite them. It's more of a recitation contest. They don't write their own speech. Um, and it's in he used to live in a place where I used to live called Shimane-ken, Matsue in Shimane-ken, the capital city. And so we have to go there and they perform, and then the prizes are given out, and there's a junior high division, a high school division, and blah blah blah. And then by the time we drive back at night, I treat them to Burger King after because there's no Burger King where I live. A lot of the kids have never been to Burger King before. The two girls that did it 2 years ago had never been to Burger King, so it was just fun. Anyway, I'll be gone all day. And by the time I get home at night, that night, man, I will try. But obviously, I'll tape, on my DVR the day's sumo. But I honestly, because that next day, the Monday, the 23rd, is a national holiday, I can kind of stay up late. I don't have to get up for work the next morning, but there's a part of me that might just crash. And that means I'll just put everything up a little late on day 15. And I apologize ahead of time right now for that. But that's life getting in the way, right? It happens. But I'll see. I'll do my best. Maybe I'll try to put up like the big matches that have you show implications, and then I'll fill it in with other stuff, or we'll figure it out. But I'll mention that many many times before it happens. I hope that won't bother you too much. Okay, so the deadline to enter the contest, Monday the 9th. So you got about a week from when this goes up. Go over and join Patreon if you can for $1, and that way you can watch all the matches. I think people were pretty happy with the coverage. Some people were complaining that the audio was a little low. There's not much I can do about that. I'll try my best to turn my TV up. It just sounds so loud because I'm sitting here, in this apartment by myself, and I do have neighbors upstairs. But normally I'm watching kind of 6, 7 p.m. So it's not like I'm doing it at really late hours or anything, but it feels like it's really loud sometimes. And then I'm talking, and getting excited or shouting, and and I get into the matches. So yeah, it should be an interesting tournament. Prediction wise, I have that over on Patreon too. I kind of have like a community tab, and we have like, predict who you think will win, and then we have a one, each day breakdown. Oh, well, I should talk about, so last time I went up at night every night around 8 or 9 p.m. and I just kind of did a summary of what happened, and that's what is on this channel. There's no more matches on this channel. I apologize if you're didn't get that information from before. There's no more match coverage here on YouTube anymore. They just block it and copyright strike it. So uh but I think I will do the summaries. I think you guys seem to enjoy them. They didn't get huge views, but for those of you who want to see it, I'm happy to provide it. Again, I can't say that I'll consistently do it all 15 days, but I will do my best. And I'll put that up, and so you can kind of clue in on that. Maybe after you watch your highlights wherever you get them, and you can come and watch my reaction to what happened that day, etc. And get a rundown, and then we talk about who's going to fight the next day and things like that. So not a long video each night, 15, 20 minutes at most, but that seemed to be fairly popular, so I'll continue to do that. Okay. Mascot. Still trying to buy the same size guy in red. Haven't been able to do it yet. Um, yeah, I think that'll do it for me for now. So thank you. Links to everything you need, if you want to go check out merch over at the merch shop. Um, all that down in the doobly doo, as they say over on Vlogbrothers. And I will see you again in a week. Day one, Sunday the 8th. I'll be on the couch watching full coverage that day, so I'll probably throw some Juryo videos in. And 6 or 7 at least top division videos, and we'll kick off the September tournament. Okay, take care of yourselves. See ya.